Hello and welcome to TalkBack, the show where we ask tough, compelling questions from tough, compelling people. Our guest tonight is the leader of both a political party and a religious movement. In 2002, his Muttahida Majlis-e-Amal had an unprecedented showing in the national elections. Some gave credit to the anti-Americanism in the streets of Pakistan following 9/11. Some gave credit to the political vacuum in the country with the beheading of the two mainstream parties. Is the MMA united today? What about the future of the religious right? What about the morality and the background of his own organization, the Jamaat-e-Islami? These are some of the questions we will be asking him tonight. Some call him the grand old man of the Pakistani religious right. We call him the Qazi. Qazi Hussain Ahmed, welcome to TalkBack.
Thank you very much.
The Nation in September 1993 ran a headline, The Qazi Factor, and it asked, the Qazi Factor is here to stay, but what is it? We asked the same question, what is the Qazi Factor in Pakistani politics today?
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. We stand for principles, and the principles are that Pakistan should be governed according to its constitution.
Going back to 47, the roots of the Jamaat-e-Islami in 47 were much different than what you claim today. In fact, your founder was not very much for the creation of this country. So today, at the doorstep of a new election, how do you reconcile the difference?
It was our founder, Maulana Sayyid Abul Ala Maududu. He advanced this two-nation theory, and the theory that the Islamic nationhood is based on their faith, and therefore the Muslims of the subcontinent, they are a separate nation.
But wasn't Maulana Maududi against Muslim nationalism? Didn't he call Muslim nationalism as contradictory as a chaste prostitute?
Actually, this is very wrong, and Muslim nationhood is based on faith. This was his basic creed.
At least once on record, he called the Qaid-e-Azam the Kafir-e-Azam.
No, never. This is a very wrong notion. And Maulana Maududi was not a person who would name like this and anybody. And he has not named a Kafir, even a Kafir-e-Azam.
But wasn't Muhammad Ali Jinnah's character questioned? Wasn't he called his question as lacking an Islamic mentality or Islamic habits of thought? That's a quote
actually
from the Maulana.
No, I don't know about it, but the Maulana never thought, and this was very wrong notion which was attributed to Maulana Maududi after the creation of Pakistan by some opponents of those people who were opposed to Maulana Maududi, because he said...
So it's propaganda.
That yes, this is false propaganda, and he said, Maulana Maududi said that now this is an independent state, and
before the independence of the state, though, he wasn't really for the independence of the state.
Yes, he was for the independence. He was for the Muslim nationhood. He was for the notion that the Islamic nationhood is based on the faith, on La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah.
Jamaat literature at that time used the word Na Pakistan for Pakistan.
Actually, he said that if this Pakistan was not according to the Islamic principles, and it is not ruled according to Islam, as it is now, in the name this is an Islamic ideological state, in the name this is a democratic state, by the name they name it as a welfare state, and they say that this is a federal state, but in practice, this is never practiced according to its constitution. It is not run according to its constitution. This was feared. This was the fear of Maulana Maududi.
You are refuting it. Every word which has been said about the Maulana and his anti-Pakistan stand is propaganda.
I refute that this is false propaganda.
All right, moving on. The nexus with the military, the Jamaat and the military's nexus. Advertently or inadvertently, it has always been said that the Jamaat has a link with the military establishment. This can be seen, for example, with at least once with you asking the military to defend the ideology of Pakistan. There's also been cases, citations from newspapers, recordings, etc., where the Jamaat backed the referendum, where the Jamaat took cabinet positions under Ziaul Haq supported his martial law regime, where the Jamaat was called Zia's B team. How do you respond to that?
Actually, this was Maulana Maududi, Sayyid Balala Maududi, who opposed martial law in the days of Ayub Khan.
That was Ayub Khan. I'm
yes,
talking
it
about
was
after
Ayub
him.
Khan, and he was the first, and
I'm talking about Mia Tufal's days.
Actually, Muhammad Ayub Khan, Field Marshal Muhammad Ayub Khan, was the person who laid the foundation of military rule and military intervention into the politics, and he was bitterly opposed this intervention of army.
But what about the 80s, sir? What about the 80s?
In the 80s, it was PNA, Pakistan National Alliance, who joined the Zia's cabinet, and Jamaat-e-Islami was one of the components of PNA, Pakistan National Alliance.
Why didn't the Jamaat take a moral stand?
Please, Babai Jamhuriyat, Nawabzada Nasrullah Khan also was a part of this original cabinet in which you accused Jamaat-e-Islami that they participated. This was the participation.
It's not an accusation, sir. It's a question. If your founder in the 60s and the 50s is taking a stand, a principled stand against Ayub Khan, then what business is it of the Jamaat to be on the cabinet of Ziaul Haq?
This was against the dictatorial rule of Zulfikar Ali Bhutto, that all the opposition parties, they had become united and they opposed him, and there was a mass movement under PNA, Pakistan National Alliance, and as a result of this mass movement, Ziaul Haq came to power, and Ziaul Haq was asked to hand over the power to the people through elections, to free and fair elections, and actually Ziaul Haq failed to do it.
We know what happened with Ziaul Haq, sir.
It was only for 9 months that the Jamaat-e-Islami ministers were there, and when they
don't you think that defies the principles of what the Jamaat stands for?
Actually, this was for the restoration of democracy, and they promised that if you cooperate, we will transform this dictatorship, this army intervention into democratic rule, and for this transformation from the autocratic rule of army to the democratic rule.
We have to take a short break here, Qazi Saab. You are watching TalkBack with the Ameer of the Jamaat-e-Islami, Qazi Hussain Ahmed. Stay tuned. Glad to have you back. We are with the Ameer of the Jamaat-e-Islami, Qazi Hussain Ahmed. At least once you've been on record criticizing the dual status of Ziaul Haq. You said this is in the Frontier Post on 30th